Well, hello, and welcome back to Palm Professionals again. You know, we're professionals not by the amount of trees we have here, but because it says it on my shirt. That's what makes it official. So today we're at our Sugarland location, and we're unloading we're preparing about 1,000 palm trees that are going to be going out to other nurseries. Here in Houston, we are the largest grower of palms. There is nobody that has more palm trees than us. But I'll tell you what, while you're here, I'll take you for a quick tour around the nursery and you can kind of check it out. So we've got 2 locations, and let me show you some stuff. We've got, there's some stuff that needs to be trimmed. Don't beat me up too bad. California fans, big, cold hardy, slow to moderate growth. Mule palms. These are really cool, soft, elegant tops, wispy kind of sound you get in the wind that everybody talks about. Decent looking trunks, no thorns. They're not a huge mess because they don't really produce a lot of seeds. Let's see what else we got. And a dwarf Formosa right here. Sorry, I don't know if I'm filming this correctly or not. A cat palm over here somewhere. And then we go a little bit further. We've got Arecas. Some people call them a golden cane because they will have like a yellowish colored cane on them. Your traditional Sagos down here. Lady palms. They don't really like a lot of full sun, so we'll be moving these soon back into kind of a little bit more moderate temperature shade. Bismarcks over here somewhere. If I can learn how to point. Bismarcks. Nice bright silver color. They'll handle light 20 temperatures. Chinese fans. These are another cool one. A lot of times people confuse these originally with a Mexican fan, but they're much slower growing and they won't get near the height on them that a Mexican fan will. And Mediterranean fans. So some people call these Euros, Mediterranean fan. And there's 2 different ways that I've heard people pronounce the botanical name, the Latin name on these. The books that I read, and bedrock books and stuff, and items like that, they call it Chamaerops humulus. I hear a lot of people call them Chamaerops humulus. So, kind of curious, leave your comment below which way you pronounce that, Chamaerops or Chamaerops. So, there's those. Foxtails, these are real cool. Nice tropical looking trees. These can get tall, but they would need some protection around Houston. More Mediterranean fan palms down here, followed by some larger mule palms, a little bit more of a specimen look. And actually, let me back up a little bit. I'm going to show you some of the Pindo palms. These are cool. Also nicknamed jelly palm. People really like these. They got a good edible fruit, kind of a citrusy flavor to them. These are actually starting to flower and already produce some of their seeds and what will be later the fruit. And normally we would start working all of these to make mule palms and emasculating them and getting the old pollen out and replacing that with the queen pollen. We're slammed this year. I don't have time to do it, so whatever, man. I'm just probably not going to do it, and I already have some that are past that point anyway, so we're just going to leave those be. And the Pindo palms are slow growers, real cold hardy, moderate height, maybe 15, 20 feet. We did one for Moody Gardens Golf Course and Botanical Center down in Galveston. We sourced some for them that were about 25, 30 feet of trunk on a Pindo, and we're estimating it between 90 to 100 years of age. May even be older than that. I don't know. And let me show you. So back to some med fans. Everybody has the med fans that are green. You see these at garden centers. Check these out. These are a silver variety of a med fan. A little bit different. They're kind of a dwarf looking leaf compared to the other ones, but bright silver. Great for containers. They're pretty hardy as well. Needle palm. Here's another one that's pretty hardy right here. So these will stay about 6 feet, maybe 8 feet tall. They're just a good filler for landscape instead of like a traditional hedge or something like that. Oh, almost missed these little dudes here. So Silver Queen is the nickname. The botanical name is Cyagrus romanzoffianum, variety littoralis. They are nicknamed the Silver Queen. These are, out of all the queens we've grown, these were the hardiest. They were out here during teen temperatures this last winter. They were covered in snow, ice, 30-mile-an-hour winds that were trying to dry out and dehydrate the leaves. And I can show you real quick with a pan. They look fine. Now, we used to have the regular queens that most garden centers would have next to that, and those would be all burned up all the time. So, anyways. Coonties. So, this is a Coontie palm. Hang on, I swallowed a gnat. Coontie palm. It's not a palm tree at all. They look more like a fern. Really cool tropical filler and very soft, and all the new growth comes out with this shiny green. It almost looks fake. It's really cool looking. Next, Sabal minors. These are native to the entire Gulf Coast. They are hardy. I've seen them go through fires for 3 days straight and grow right back. Hurricanes, floods, droughts, you name it. They are bulletproof. Freeze, nothing affects them. Mature height, they'll start getting closer to this here, about maybe 4 or 5 feet tall. I did have some property before that had some low-lying areas that flooded a lot, and there were some specimen-looking ones in there that were probably 7 feet tall, but I imagine those are quite old palms. These are Carnuba wax palms. And yes, if that sounds familiar, there's a reason. Carnuba wax is used in surfboard wax, automobile wax, like it goes on and on. I think maybe candles, whatever. There's a million uses for Carnuba wax. So what they do is they'll actually take, there's a little powder coating on here, and you can scrape it off and kind of see, well, there's not much sunlight out today to show you, but you normally scrape that off, and that is the waxy part of it. But they'll dry these, I think, and put them in like a big shaker, like a vibrator, and then knock all of that off of there. And that's where they get the wax from. And next is Pygmy date palms. So these are the Pygmy dates, the Roballinis. Sorry, my phone keeps cutting out, so this may be a little chopped up. So these are planted in a group like this, 3 trunks, 4 trunks. They don't naturally reproduce. So if you see 3 trunks, 4 trunks because they were planted like that. These have some freeze damage to them, even though we laid them down and tried to cover them up. You're going to see that they had some freeze damage. They're only rated to about like 28 degrees for a night before they start getting damaged. And I'm going to have to try to talk and walk fast. This is going to be a short video today because my phone keeps cutting out. So windmill palm, these are cool, nice complementary palm. Smaller, skinnier trunks, so you can put these as an accent palm around houses. Extremely cold hardy. Over here you've got a Mazari palm, silver Mazari. These are really hardy as well. They're a medium-sized tree. Okay, sorry, my camera cut off. I don't know where we left off. I think I was talking about these silver Mazari. Cool, medium-sized tree, extremely cold hardy. Next to that is a cardboard palm. They call it that because they're kind of stiff and they feel like they almost have like a little fuzz on there. It almost feels like you're touching cardboard. And I'm gonna have to unfortunately speed this up a little bit more because my phone is dying on me. So, more Pindos, more mules. We typically have several hundred mules in these sizes. At each location, we have 2 locations in Houston, and several thousand seedlings. But we don't sell the seedlings, so stop asking. Everybody keeps calling every day. And there's also multi-trunk mules that we have like this. That one is a double. So we can have on mules, we can have a double. There's another nice Pindo behind me. Woohoo! Right there. So there are, in each seed for the mule, they can have like 3 embryos. So sometimes all 3 of those can grow if they're good. And they'll produce 3 actual trunks from the same seed. And the only problem is, normally while they're young like that, we can get them all the way into like a 65 gallon. And when the canopies start getting real big, they start drowning out the younger one, and kind of, I guess what you'd call the runt of the liver gets knocked out. So again, kind of making our way to the back, those are 1,000 3-gallon Pindos over here. And then the Sabals behind it are going out to a commercial project, so we just have those temporarily leaned up there for an afternoon, and they'll be fine for an afternoon there. And real quick, again, I'm running out of space here. So, get back here. These are Chinese fans. They'll get a big canopy on them, nice wispy tips, slower growing than the Mexican fan palm, and a skinnier trunk. So they're a nice little cool complement. These are Texas Sabals here. Big wide petiole bases. You can see my hand on there. As opposed to the Florida Sabals back here that have a much more narrow base. That's probably 2 or 3 fingers across at the petiole base right here, the old base of the frond. Florida Sabals in different styles. You've got debooted or you've got booted. So you can make them look the same. Eventually they will fade and fall off. But some people like that look, so then we have to actually shave them off. We do it by hand with razor blades, not chainsaws, because you can dig into the pseudo bark, cause some soft spots, and then later, a few years from now, your customer's going to end up with a problem, and they're not going to know why, but we just don't roll like that. So, and hey, it's us again. These are all of the Sabals we have at this particular location. There are probably, I don't know, maybe 200 or 300 here at our Sugarland location. We have another store in Lamarck that has all of our more tropical stuff, rare endangered species down there, Myola palms, like liqualas, lipstick, like all that stuff's down in our Lamarck location. Anyways, that's about it for me, and I got to get back to work. I was just trying to give you a real quick tour. I don't think we hit everything. I doubt it, because there's 100 different species that we have here at least, give or take. So thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, stop by either of our locations. If you want to check us out, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, or whatever. And if you hated the video, then make sure you double click the thumbs down button. Click on it twice, that's important.